How to get on track with your life purpose. This is Philip Montrose. My wife and partner Jane and I help people to step up and tap into the heart of success with holistic coaching and healing. And in this short video, I want to share some information on how to get on track with your life purpose, one of the most ultimately important things you can do to recognize it, explore it, embrace it, live it. How to get on track. Because at a certain point, life calls out to you. You start to hear the music. You start to feel dissatisfied from your current life, your old life, your restrictive patterns, to wanting to expand, to grow, to enter a new field, sort of like the cocoon and breaking out of that to become a butterfly, so to speak. And it's beyond just becoming better or becoming a better you or self-improvement. It's a whole new you, a whole new octave. So how do you hear the music? How do you play it? How do you follow it? This wonderful music of your life that you can create and share. Well, let me share briefly our story, my story, and my wife and partner Jane's story. Just real brief. I used to be an educator, a teacher. That was fulfilling for a while, up to a point I became growingly dissatisfied, felt like I was just staying safe in the harbor. I needed to go out and explore further just for what I was here to do. I enjoyed helping the children. It was engaging, but I knew there was more for me, for the role I was cut out to do, because we're each these individual, unique instruments that are attuned to play and develop what we can play to the world. And at a certain point, you're kind of out of sync, out of harmony, or not really developing your instrument, so to speak, your being to share. And that was restrictive for the school teaching for me. And for my wife Jane, she was an architect. It was a very high pressure, stressful job, burnt her out really. She became ill, chronic fatigue, stressed. She felt like her soul was dying, and she had to leave that job actually. And eventually we started pursuing, at first part-time, coaching and healing and helping people individually, and then training and developing our own techniques. And that's how we started following our calling, and it keeps evolving and reinventing, and it's a wonderful place to be. We wouldn't be anywhere else. Because you see, at first, you have a startup pack. You have your default purpose, what you're given. You're maybe supporting yourself and perhaps a family, and that's good, and that's fine, and that's meaningful. And yet at a certain point, your interests grow. You want to stretch, and things become broader and deeper, having more connections. It's an awakening process. And in our recent book, The Ultimate Paradigm Shift, we described it this way. It's a transition from a limited reality that's dominated by fear, pain, and lack to an expansive reality where love, joy, and abundance prevail. So this means you're starting to see yourself more as a citizen of the world, and this reverberates out to other people, and it has a wonderful impact, small or large, but yet it's still different than just surviving and getting through the day and doing kind of what you've always done. It evolves, grows, transforms. So there's three keys. Three telltale signs of getting and staying on this track of your life purpose. Let me share them. Number one, going from your lower needs met to your higher needs. The Abraham Maslow pyramid, you may know, the lower needs are safety and security and belonging. We need that. We will continually need that. But at a certain point, you want to go more into your higher needs, creativity, self-actualizing, becoming the full you, and transcending yourself, merging with your higher self and letting that be more your reality. So your higher needs start to be where you live your life, and that's very exciting, actually, fulfilling. And second telltale sign, being on track with your life purpose, going from attached to non-attached. And if you're familiar with meditation, mindfulness, this may relate to you quite readily. So it's not just about dealing with your life day in, day out routine, you start to watch it, you start to monitor it, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and you take things more in stride. The ups and downs are not as high and low, and yet there's more depth in even little simple things, gestures and meanings and moment to moment. In other words, you learn to stand up for yourself without being defensive, and yet you're sensitive to others while not being dominated by them, not by being pleasing, not worrying so much what other people think. You're not bound by your past. You use your past. You're not stuck in the past. You use it. Yeah, you had good and bad things happen to it. That can help you create a better future, and then you're more future oriented. You're seeing the future coming toward you, the future you want to create. So if you're seeing this wonderful life purpose driven future with fulfilling your talents and goals to making the world a better place, that's what's leading you on. And you can use things from your past for sure. That way you're able to stay more in the present, going from attached to non-attached. And the third telltale sign, being on track with your life purpose, is instead of being too timid and risk averse, you become more adventuresome, taking calculated risks. Now, a lot of holistically minded people are understandably wary of standing up, being counted, because they're going against society's grain. Society, mainstream, is not there yet. So your life purpose might draw possibly some criticism, even from close people, rejection even. And that might make you nervous and too timid and too fearful. And this can be a problem going forward. So you want to take those risks. You want to be more courageous. It may be some small steps of saying something or doing something you haven't done. It doesn't have to be a giant thing, although sometimes there is a leap of faith involved. And so you don't want to stay too safe. You want to take those calculated risks, or you're going to remain stuck if you don't. So your story is going to change. This life purpose story. It's going to be one from I'm okay, or I'm doing fine, or I'm doing even really good. That's your original default starter pack life purpose story. And then you become more the hero of your own story. Not so much taking on demons or dragons, but more profound challenges. And you're motivated, not by self-gratification, but by fulfilling your higher needs, your deeper needs, making a difference. And your story is more like I'm following my soul and spirit. And you feel very fortunate to play this part. And it could be small or large. Whatever it is for you is right. And it changes and evolves as you do. And you're part of this unfolding story of your own life and everyone's life. So those are some things to consider to be on track with your life purpose. Go for it. You can make a difference. You're worth it.